This movie's literally the reason why genies will not let you use love as one of your 3 wishes. Lots of people have been recommending that I go see Obsession. They said it was great. I figured I'd go check it out. I had nothing better to do today. And you know, I'm an AMC Stubbs A-lister. Of course I'm going to go see the movie. My name's Neon Blue Slime. I watch movies and I talk about them. If you haven't seen Obsession or you have seen it and you just want to hear about my take, well, I think this might be the video for you. Today I'm going to talk about some basic info. We'll do a little deeper dive, and then at the end I'll probably just share how I feel about the movie and what I think. Let's get to it. Boosh! So let's see. Basic info about the movie. Obsession is this psychological horror movie that came out this year. I think it came out like a couple weeks ago. It's rated R, runs for about an hour and 48 minutes. Obsession follows this guy named Baron. I have no idea what his last name is, but they call him Bear throughout the movie. It sets it up as basically he's like in love with this girl. He doesn't, want to say it, or like he doesn't know how to say it, that he has feelings for them. So Baron has feelings for this girl named Nikki. He's trying to like admit his feelings, but he's struggling to do that. And eventually he finds this thing that allows him to make Nikki obsessed with him. And the whole movie of Obsession basically follows that plot where Nikki is now unmagically obsessed with Baron, and it's all the things that happen that come along with it. A big key factor in that is the fact that once the wish is made, you can't just undo the wish. You have to go through with everything. There's no takesy backsies. That's it. Like I said, it's rated R, so you better have your IDs ready if you're going to go see it in the movie theater. And if you're going to watch it at home and you're not old enough to watch a rated R movie, ask mom and dad. The director of this movie is Curry Barker. I think this is his second movie he's made, first theatrical release, so congratulations. The main character, Baron, is played by Michael Johnston, who has been in a couple of movies before. Teen Wolf, for those of you who watch Teen Wolf, I had no idea. He's also apparently in a God of War game that came out this year. Overall, Obsession got an 8.1 on IMDb, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 96. Let's do a little bit of a deeper dive, shall we? The production, the reason why I specifically want to talk about the production of this movie, of Obsession, is because the budget was less than $1 million. I think they only used $750,000. And that's really big in the horror industry, because if you look at all the other movies, for example, Halloween, Scream, Scary Movie, they all have huge budgets, big box office budgets for substantially lower returns. But the thing is that this movie had a substantially larger return, especially for the fact that they only used $750,000. A24 just released Backrooms, and that was a budget of $1 million. These movies that are like indie films, oh, this is Blumhouse, by the way. I had no idea until it was starting. I was like, oh my god, no way. These movies are more indie run. They're smaller, less expensive to do. But we don't need those big budget movies all the time. Sometimes what people need is just one of those, like, it's just a good movie. It's entertaining to watch. It's interesting. It honestly had me on the edge of my seat while I was watching it too. Something else that's crazy, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, obviously, to find out like all this other information because I think it's interesting and I want to share it with you guys. Another incredible thing, other than the budget, which we just talked about, that is insane to me is it only took them 26 days to film this movie. It's an hour and 46 minutes long, and it took them 26 days. It took them 20 days to film the original shooting, and then an extra 6 days to do all of the reshooting. 26 days, $750,000 budget. How much money do you think that they made when they released Obsession in the box office? Say as of June 15th, because that's what the Wikipedia article said. Guess. Oh, that's a good guess. Couple $1 million. That's an excellent guess. $290 million as of last week of the day this video is being posted, because I'm recording it on June 16th. It came out a month ago as of today when I'm making this video. So $290 million in the course of a month. They were projecting about $8 to $10 million on the first weekend of this movie being out. And on the first day, they made $7 million, which means they've already practically made the amount of money that they thought they made on the first day. It's an indie movie, not a big budget film, and it's making this kind of money. That's just telling you that we don't need The Little Mermaid 18. We need new ideas in the box office. The creator of Obsession, Curry Barker, said he's probably not going to make a sequel to Obsession, but his next movie, Anything But Ghosts, will take place in the same shared universe, so we could see what would happen there. Or an anthology TV series where there's like people who make other wishes through the like thing that Bear makes in the movie, so to show how those other wishes play out. All right, that's enough for the basic info and whatnot. Let's talk about the goddamn plot so I can give you my base ass opinion. The movie starts with Baron being like talking to this girl who is his friend, and her name is Sarah, and he's like pouring his feelings out, being like, I've loved you for so long, like I really wish that you would know that, and I wanted to tell you because when I was in this accident, you were the first person to call me. And then we find out that Baron is talking to Sarah because his friend Ian had them do it. They're in a diner. It turns out that Baron is actually trying to confess his love to Nikki, who is like another one of their friends in the group. And then Ian sits down at this like bar with Baron, and is like, dude, you can't tell her while we're at trivia. It's the one thing I have. And in that moment I was like, you know, honestly, dude, Ian is a fucking G right now, because, you know, we're here to have a good time. We're not here to confess our love about each other. We're with the boys. Taco Tuesday. If you know what, if somebody wants to confess my friends right now, if you want to confess your love to somebody at Taco Tuesday, which is being, you know, tacoed on Tuesday, do it. But do it at the end. Don't do it during Taco Tuesday. Don't do it before Taco Tuesday. Like, let's, as friends, enjoy Taco Tuesday. That happens, and they're like, they leave the diner because they got to go get ready for trivia later or whatever. And Baron walks into his house, and his fucking cat is dead. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of swearing. It's a rated R movie, which means this video I am legally allowed to say bad words and deal with it. His cat's dead on the floor, and I was like, oh, this is a terrible way to start a movie. Horrible. So Baron cleans it up. He's like doom scrolling, I'm assuming on his phone later that night. And he gets a call from Nikki being like, yo, bro, are you going to pull up tonight? And Baron's like, nah, I'm not pulling up. And doesn't tell her why or whatever. But then Nikki's like, well, I have something to tell you. Should I just tell you? And he's like, yeah, because honestly, if you call me and you're like, will you come here so I can tell you something? And we're on the fucking phone. I'm going to be like, just tell me. We're on the phone. You have the ability to tell me right now. Nikki drops her like necklace while they're on the phone into like the garbage disposal or something. I don't know. If I dropped the necklace in the garbage disposal, I would just put my fucking hand in there and grab it out. But I was thinking like, oh, we're going to really kick this movie off, because I haven't like seen much about this movie. I've literally, the most I've seen about this movie is the 10 minutes I've seen so far, max. And I'm like, oh, I just put my hand in there. Maybe the garbage disposal is going to get turned on. We're going to get some crazy horror where it's like, oh shit, her hand's coming off already. But she drops her crystal necklace down there. So Baron, being the like man in love with her, is like, let me drive to the store and go get her another one. And my brother drives to this crystal shop, asks the lady what the best option is. She directs him to one that's like Sunshine Rock or something. I don't know. Ask somebody who knows about stones and rocks. It says it's literally sunshine and a rock is what the lady says. Baron doesn't buy a necklace for her. He buys this thing that's like a one wish willow. And the lady's like, well, be careful. There's no refunds. You can't get it back. And he's like, oh, it's fine. I'll just like give it to Nikki and then it's to be whatever. They go to the bar. Nikki and Ian walk away from the bar, and at that point they had like this whole moment where like Baron's talking to Sarah, who's the girl he was originally talking to at the beginning of the movie, and it's like clearly meant to be like these two are supposed to have the connection. And he's like, my cat died. And she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then we're just like cut to like them like leaving the bar, and Nikki's like, oh, I need to go home. And Baron's like, this is the perfect opportunity to seize my moment. I'll take you home, and then I have something to give you, because he got her the like one wish willow box. And so they're in the car, and Nikki is like about to get out because they're at their house, and Nikki's at her house, and Nikki's like, do you like Sarah? Because Sarah likes you. And Baron's like, what? No. And then Nikki's like, well, do you like me? And Baron's like, no. And I started laughing my ass off. I was like, this dude's literally pulling all the worst cards you could fucking do. Your whole goal here, my boy, was to tell her you do like her. Like, that's why you drove her home, and now you're telling her no. Baron forgets to give the gift to Nikki until he's like, she walks away, and then like he gets the One Wish Willow out of his bag, and he's like, I wish Nikki loved me more than anyone in the world, and then immediately just snaps it. And I was like, oh fuck, anybody in the world? Oh, that's crazy. So Nikki turns around, comes back from her house, and is like, I don't want to be alone because my dad is in the hospital and he has cancer. There's something going on. Like, she switches from being like totally in love with him to just like screaming and being like, get away, get away. It's just, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, everything was fine. Like, oh yeah, maybe they're, you know, two drunk adults doing what drunk adults do, and you know, getting to it. They're making out. Whatever. It cuts. We wake up the next morning and Baron gets out of bed, walks into his fucking kitchen, and Nikki has made a memorial for the cat that's died. And Baron is like, this is disturbing. He's like, Nikki, why are you freaking out? And Nikki's like, well, I was on MDMA. And so then we're like, okay, cool. Now we're happily dating. And Baron, I think either A, Baron knew this whole time, or he hadn't like clued into the fact that the One Wish Willow actually worked, because the circumstances in which Nikki like flipped like a switch were insane. They go to work and they start like, you know, having their little fall in love thing. And then we get to the part where Ian is talking to Baron, and he's like, look, Nikki told Sarah literally not that long ago that she sees you as a little brother. And this is important because, again, Sarah has feelings for Baron, and Nikki does not have feelings for Baron because, you know, Nikki sees Baron as a little brother. So suddenly all of this is like turned around, and it's like, well, what's going on now? When Baron finds out about this, they're at like a restaurant, and Nikki like gets up and like stares at him from down the way, and I'm like, oh geez, this is creepy. So they go home, and Baron wakes up in the middle of the night, and Nikki's like in the corner and just starts screaming about how he doesn't love her as much as she loves him. If this person was in my house, I'd be telling them to get the fuck out. Baron wakes up the next morning, and he finds that Nikki has made him lunch, and he goes to leave, and the door is like duct taped closed, like completely. He really has to like pull it. And number one, in my head when this happened, I was like, this has got to be where they spent all $750,000, because if you gave me that much duct tape, I would have so much problem getting the whole door covered that like it would cost $750,000. Baron is at work eating the lunch that Nikki made, and Sandy takes this sticky note that Nikki put on it for Baron and is like, what's the rating? Cat ? Nikki cooked Baron's cat, cooked it, put it in a sandwich, and gave it to him. That's disgusting. That's super disgusting. That's disturbing. So Baron gets home. Oh, Ian invites him to a party, and then Ian goes home. And Ian's like, Nikki can't come. Baron gets home, and he's like, no more of this weird shit. Why the fuck did you put my cat in the sandwich? And she had been standing there in front of the door, like, you know how when you get home and like the dogs are like waiting in front of the door for you? Nikki was just standing there, and there's like throw up all over her, piss on the ground, shit on the ground. It's disgusting. She's like all clean up, and Baron's like, all right, I'm gonna go to Ian's, like, it's fine, you just stay here. And she starts freaking out about it. She's like, you don't love me, obsessed and stuff. So they end up going to the party, and he folds, and they're playing this drinking game of Giant Jenga, which I will be stealing. I'm gonna totally be playing this game. And the brick that Baron pulls is kiss the person to your left, and again, you know, illicit love interest Sarah on the other side of the outside of this whole thing is sitting to his left, and Nikki comes over and like pulls her chair back and goes, oh, this movie made me so uncomfortable. I'm just gonna like start getting to the end of the movie here because I don't even know. Nikki makes a whole thing, and like everybody shuts the fuck up, and like it makes a whole scene at this party. And they go home, and Nikki's like, I'm going to kill myself if you don't just stay here laying in bed. And so while Nikki and Baron are laying in bed. Baron gets a text from Sarah to be like, I need to tell you something. Baron's like, why don't you just text me then? Because again, just fucking tell me, brother. But no. So Baron gets up, goes to the park, and meets Sarah. And it's like the final college application like recipient thing that she's getting back from all the colleges she's applied to and sent out to go to. And they're talking about it, and it's like, this is the moment where you like fully in words realize that Sarah has a crush on Bear. And you know, it's great. You're like, oh, perfect. And they're having this moment where they're like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be great. You know, we can just talk about this. You know, Nikki and Ian are fucking, and that's this whole thing. And then the camera's pointed at Sarah, and you just see Nikki walk up, break the window, grab Sarah's head in some like book or something, and just start fucking slamming it on the steering wheel. It was insane. I was like, holy shit! What the fuck is happening? It's the first person you witness die. We're like an hour into the movie at this point, and she's just slamming in the head. And I'm like, wow, we've killed somebody now. It's the first one. It took long enough, but it was the first one, and I was like, this is the worst because Sarah deserved better. Because Baron opens the letter, and she was accepted into the school. The last one. Baron and Nikki then have to like get rid of the body, and you realize that like Nikki's like, please kill me in her sleep, because it's like what I think is happening is that in this like interdimensional thing, you can't really get rid of Nikki existing because Nikki's her own free conscious thing, so she's trapped in the body, and then like the obsession wish thing is like over her. Baron is freaking out. He goes and buys all the other one wish willows and realizes he only gets one wish. And so he goes to Ian and he's like, you need to help me. And Ian's like, I wish for 1 million doll hairs. Like dolls. Billion doll hairs. Just start falling. Not dollars, doll hairs, doll heads. Yep. And this is in that moment I was like, okay, maybe we didn't spend all $750,000 on the duct tape door. Maybe we also spent it on dumping all of these doll hairs all over this room. At this point, Ian's made the wish. Sarah's dead. Nikki's the only one who can help him at this point because he's already made his wish. So he goes back. Nikki is like wearing Sarah's dress and scalp, and Sarah's naked filleted in their kitchen. It's terrible. I can't believe I saw this. So Nikki's holding this gun and she's threatening Baron, and then Ian comes in the door and he immediately gets shot by Nikki. Immediately. He's like, I actually have $1 billion. It works. And so Bear is like freaking the fuck out, runs into the bathroom with the gun and everything, and is like about to off himself. Which, by the way, if you at this moment, I think we should just talk about it. If you need help, please seek help. There are resources to help you. You are loved. Baron's like, I just gotta kill myself at this point. And so he doesn't shoot himself, he just takes drugs. He takes a lot of drugs. Baron's sitting on the bathtub, and this like switch flips in his brain, and he comes out of the bathroom, and it's clear that the one wish has been used on him, and Nikki used it to be like, oh, I wish he loved me, you know? So they kiss, and then he fucking dies. And the thing is that what they've been telling the whole movie is that if he dies, then Nikki will be free. So he dies, and Nikki's like, oh man, well, the love of my life is now dead, puts the gun in her mouth, and then boom, it flips off, and Nikki returns to being herself. And she just looks around and sees all the dead bodies and the whole mess of the house that Baron lived in, and just starts screaming. And that is how the movie ends. Holy shit, you should go see it. I think it's a good movie to see because it shows you the inwards and outwards of relationships and why it's important not to wish love upon other people, and understand that honestly at the end of the day, love will come when it's meant to be. And had Baron just waited and not gone after Nikki, he would have had Sarah set up for him. And it's as easy as that. Love comes in time. I don't really know exactly what to say about this movie. I went by myself. There were other people in that movie theater, and by that I mean there were 4 other people in that movie theater. The movie was unsettling. I was unsettled. I thought it was good. There were moments where I was like, really, like, I don't even know how to explain. But it makes you think about that kind of thing, like relationships and love. And how, yes, your ideal may be one thing, but you are trapping another person in that situation where, like, Nikki still exists, but because Baron had used the wish on her, she was trapped. And it wasn't her own free will. She didn't actually love Baron. This magical spirit casting over it was forcing her to. So, would I say it's a good, bad, or both? I would say it's good. It's definitely not a bad movie. I think it's a good movie. I highly recommend you see it. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd as a review of this is why genies don't allow you to make your wishes about love. I said I was gonna do a skit too, maybe on my little planner here. So I have an idea. Hold on. Oh man, my one wish rose thing. What should I wish for? Let me just. Oh man, I've broken it now. I've got to make my wish. I wish my pencil wasn't broken. Aw, man. It's too bad magic isn't real. Alright, guys. Well, once again, I'm Neon Blue Slime. If you enjoyed, please like, comment a movie you think I should see. And if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all next time, probably with something. Maybe another movie review. We'll just have to see. But with that, have a great rest of your day.